everyone. My name is Josue Romero, and welcome back to the Silicon Oasis Spotlight. We are stoked today because I've got an awesome special guest with me. Please introduce yourself.
My name is Kentarou, Siejak, serial entrepreneur here in the Valley, but yeah.
Let's go. Kentarou, you've told me so much in the last couple of months since we've met, which was about last July of 2025. For reference, it's obviously January of 26. In that short time frame, you've made a ton of moves, but tell people a little bit about your background.
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot that I've come from. I'm a military kid, so I've moved all over the world. Nice. But especially within the past 2 years, I've been really onto professional development. So I wrote my first book and my second book within the past 2 years. I did my first TED Talk, went over to Harvard, learned a little bit about entrepreneurship, then mentored the startups of 100-some startups within Harvard and mentored all the Harvard alumni there. And now I'm leading the initiative for TedxASU and bringing TED Talks here to Arizona.
Let's go. When you were a mentor, because I know our audience is very tech-focused here, what did you mentor on specifically for these startups? Would love to hear about that.
A lot of that is like the business planning, development, and just really how to optimize the customer experience and how to profit off that. So that's when you're marketing, how do you market it so that way the right people see it at the right time? Then how do you make an offer for those same people that entices them to buy? An offer is so good, people feel stupid saying no. And then how do you get them to pay money over and over again? And then how do you use that money to pour into the development of the startup to get them up and rolling and scaling really fast?
Absolutely love it. And to your point about getting someone to say yes to things at the right time, TedxASU. I think that's one of the biggest things the state will ever see because it's yet to happen. What's that about?
Oh man, we're leading a team right now of, I believe, 200 plus people across all partnerships. And we're doing something that's never been done before, which is the largest TEDx event in history. And it is, so far, it's been amazing to work with. And we actually have a call with Minecraft tomorrow to see a possible partnership with them. But it's really, we're planning on having 12,500 plus people there. We're bringing in some of the best speakers in the world. We have some of the largest content creators and the number one TED Talk speakers of 2023, 2024, and 2025, all flying in to give talks. And we have some celebrities coming in. And yeah, it's a huge event, mainly to drive not only to showcase the innovation, but also to drive ASU students into these economies of startups, of businesses, and giving them opportunities to move forward.
I love that, man. I know I've been saying I love it over and over, but it's not an exaggeration, and I'll tell you why. Arizona, in our opinion, at Silicon Oasis, is a completely underserved market. We have a lot of people here who we think can become great, are building great things already, and sometimes all they need is an introduction to that world. They just don't know how to get there. I like to use myself as one of those examples because I've said it over and over and over. Didn't know what the world of tech was 4.5 years ago. That sounds so silly, but I just didn't know you could choose that. I didn't know you could choose venture capital as a career. And while it's still extremely hard to get into it, don't recommend it if you just want to do it because it sounds fun. The world is just kind of closed off. So by holding this event, from what I understand of it, thousands and thousands of people will receive that introduction, not just to the world of tech, but different types of players within tech, within business, within different types of industries.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, we're planning on incorporating like every school within ASU. We want something for every school, which then in turn every industry within the world. And like with that, one thing that I didn't know of until recently was if you look back on a Facebook post I made like way back in 2019, like my dream job was to be a motivational speaker. But I was like, I didn't know how to make money off this. But now as like I'm getting into the public speaking space and like hosting TedxASU, like now I'm like, this is a real career. I didn't really know that this was something possible. And that's something that I want to bring for not just like tech and obviously tech, but like it's making sure that everyone sees all the possibilities and picking the one that's right for them and right up their alley in terms of dream jobs and getting a clear pathway for them.
Have you, I'm guessing you have, right? Just from what you say and from what I've heard, and I guess this is more of a guesstimate, but how many public speaking engagements have you done in the last 7 years?
Oh, man. Are we counting like in schools and like in front of classrooms that aren't my own classrooms, but like other classrooms?
Let's not count those.
Let's not count those? So if we're talking like conferences and like bigger events, closer to 50, 60
Nice.
events. So pretty good. But that's ramping up very quickly. I've just been confirmed on like 10 or 20 over the next couple months. So it's rolling really fast.
Something I love about that story is I am not super technical by any means. Went to grad school, studied quantitative management, know some R, some data science.
Yeah.
But if my life depended on coding an app, not including vibe coding, I'm totally dead in the morning, right? That being said, the reason I got into quantitative management, funnily enough, was that I think there are so many good people that build amazing things. Congratulations, good job. You can school me in that regard. At the same time, I think a lot of those same people are not great at communicating the value of their product, their service, what they're building, making sure that what they built is solving a problem for someone. And what I see when I see your story, and you can tell me if I'm wrong here, open to being wrong, right? is yes, you've got so many things that you want the world to know about, but even though you've been on stages like tons and tons of times, you said you wanted to make a career out of it, and now you just did, like you're just there, right?
Yeah.
You just do things. So by becoming this pillar, this is kind of what I tried doing, right? Is become the voice of the unheard. I know that sounds so super corny. I hate that I just said that. But in a sense, right? You said, hey, I want to be a motivational speaker. Don't know how I'm going to get there. And now you're hosting the largest TEDx event, hopefully, the world has seen to date.
Yeah. No, it's a weird thing where it's like you don't know how to get there. And a lot of times, like for people like us, it's you don't know how to get there. You just know you want it. And so you just do random things that somehow get you there.
Yeah.
And like, I love being able to communicate that, because the brand that I'm trying to build right now is actually like, how do you innovate in leadership positions through communication? Mm-hmm. And so like on that point, it's like, how do you communicate not only like the ideas that you have, but then how do you communicate to other people how to chase their dreams and how to get them there, and how to communicate the pathway, and how to communicate the steps and the exact things that you need to do. Because most people, if I tell them, oh, you need to market a company.
Yep.
I don't know how to do that, but
it's
if I walk your hand through, here's how you make an email chain, here's how you make an ad campaign, here's how you do social media, then after this entire process and you actually walk through it with me, now I can say, market this company, and you know all the minor steps in between.
Yep. Having done all of these things and culminating to this moment of TedxASU, what brought you to it? I know you've mentioned several different things that you wanted to do, your dreams, your desires. What was that moment when you said, this needs to happen today? What are people just not getting about why today? Well, today meaning April.
Yeah.
Yeah. But why this year? Why April?
Yeah, so a lot of things compound onto itself, and it really didn't click until the idea was said. So, I mean, when we roll back, ASU's been number one in innovation for over a decade.
Yeah, congrats.
Right?
I'm a Sun Devil myself, so.
Yes, forks up. Yeah. But yeah, on top of that, Phoenix is rising really fast as like well known as startup space. All my friends over at Harvard is like they talk about coming to Phoenix all the time because they want to be here. And then on top of that, the Inno25, myself being on there, on top of the co-founder of the company of one of the speakers, Andrew. So I'm so sorry. What was her name? I can't remember.
The co-founder?
Not Andrew, but
our COO, Autumn.
Autumn, yes.
Yeah.
I don't know how I forgot.
All good,
but
no worries.
Autumn being on Inno25, then getting Andrew on board with it, and just like all these compounding effects of everything coming together as innovation. Then someone had brought up to me as like, "Hey, you did TED Talk, right? Wouldn't it be cool to bring TED Talk here?" I'm like, I just got an email a week ago about this.
Yeah.
Maybe I should do this. And then just trying to expand the idea, because one of my premises of like trying to build teams is build your dream so big that other people can fit theirs inside of it. And from there, it's just world's largest TED Talk, and it's brought on so many different people and such a big community around it.
Dude, so something I say a lot of the times as well is be extremely easy to root for. Because, and I think you do that very easily as well, but it's hard to hate someone on purpose who's trying to do something good.
Right.
And if you do, it's almost like an inverse effect where if they see someone doing something good, bashes on this person with good desires and good dreams, the world's just like, what's wrong with you? Like,
right?
Yeah, so it just kind of spits out, it pushes out the energy, everything kind of self-filters to say, if you're very easy to root for, and don't do it because you're trying to manipulate people,
Right.
Do it because you actually are a good person trying to do good things.
Yeah,
I feel it
good.
works. Yeah, do it naturally. But I think you do that very well. And once that happens, that the train just takes off and everyone starts clinging on, and then they cling on to visions, to teams, to ideas, to dreams, and it's pretty hard to stop.
Yeah, right. It's like that snowball effect, and like even now I'm seeing that with there's a ton of opportunities. There's a couple of them that I won't say on here, but like some of them that are happening right now is we're getting started on making an animated movie because that came through the TEDx event. There's another TEDx event that's possibly happening in December that's even larger than the one in the ASU, but I can't talk too much about that just yet. But that's also coming up. But there's just a ton of cool opportunities are coming by, and that's the small stuff compared to what's going to be happening later on in 2026 and 2027.
So let me ask you, what are you most excited about for TedxASU April 26th? Well, April of 2026.
Yeah. The thing that I'm most excited about, which is obviously the event itself, but it's what's going to come after the event, not for myself, but for everyone else in the team. So right now, because I've worked with Harvard before, and I'm planning on helping out a little bit more with their curriculum development, and I've developed dozens of curriculums in the past, I know how to get people into jobs because I've helped with startups. I know what startups are looking for when they're hiring. On top of that, I've worked with so many HR directors that I know what they're looking for when they're hiring as well. And it's being able to see the 200 plus volunteers in the event, be able to like post on LinkedIn months after the event, because of TedxASU, I got my dream job, or I'm on path. And I can't wait to see the opportunities that they get from this, because we're going to have workshops for them to build their resumes, their LinkedIn, how to post about this, how to drive traction.
Yeah. If you guys need help with that, let me know, in terms of tech at least. I'm more than happy.
There's plans about that. I just got to get everything together. But
You're good. And for Kentarou personally, what comes after TedxASU?
Oh, man. I mean, there's the movies. There's other TEDx events. I'm planning on growing as a motivational speaker and just speaker in general. Right now, instead of motivational, I've really fell in love with professional development. Yeah. And which is kind of motivational in a sense, but it's a lot more niche in like, okay, it's motivational, but it's like, I want to grow you as a person professionally. Yeah. But on top of that, like, more big projects like TedxASU. I plan on this being like the smallest event. Obviously, it's Guinness
the smallest,
record.
biggest event you ever do.
Smallest, biggest event that I'll ever do, and I just plan on growing that. I'm hoping within the next 5 to 10 years, growing it to like 100,000 person event, having the Guinness World Record for the largest event by scale, and having like tens of millions of dollars in one event, having hundreds of thousands to millions of people in one location at one time. Yeah. But that's looking way in the future. But that's what I'm hoping for.
No, that's brilliant. Dream as big as you can is what I like to say. Yeah. Look, if you've got health, it's a sunny day, even if it's raining, and you've got a roof over your head, world's at your feet. I mean, if you got food, health, a roof, world is at your feet. There is no time better than today to build pretty much anything. I mean, with an online account for something, just run at it. That's my suggestion. Look, if you're not technical, if you're not the best speaker, if you're not the best at anything, doesn't matter. 99% of people right now, okay, that's an exaggeration, let's say 85, but most of them don't want to work. They don't want to move. They don't want to do things. You give me an example, right? What do you spend most of your time on every single day to get things moving?
Right now, I mean, the thing that I spend most of the time on is really curriculum development and like training for the entire team.
Yeah. So, and what does that entail on a daily basis?
A ton of meetings with the leadership team, seeing like what's the general outcome of like what's the dream job of everyone, and then on top of that, workshopping. Okay, most of them want to be in leadership positions, so then I work with the team. How do you do leadership? And then reaching out to bigger companies and seeing their HR directors, their CEOs, their COOs. What do you guys do in leadership? How do you train someone in leadership? How do you bring someone up? And it's just a ton of meetings of figuring out what's the commonalities between all industries. How do you make it into one vetted course or curriculum, this one system that I can then put people through and onto moving? But it's tough.
No, I was going to say, it's work, and I do not mean to dilute this in any way, but it just sounds like you show up, you're present, intentional, and then you're not lugging Egyptian bricks up a pyramid. You're not, you're not in the ocean welding.
Right.
That's something, you have an amazing work ethic, don't get me wrong, but that's something someone in a dorm room could literally say, I'm going to show up to Kentarou's workshop.
Yeah.
Right? Like most people could do that.
Right. And like the hardest part of like anything is trying to make it convenient for anyone to do it.
Yeah.
That's the hardest part. But yeah, no, I mean like
that's funny and
right?
true. Yeah.
But I also find it like as a cool thing coming from my age, I just turned 19, like I'm at an age that like I know I don't know anything and I don't claim to try and know anything. I just know what I've done. That's it.
Yes, that's great.
And so, like, yeah, to that, like, I see that you don't need any knowledge because you can build the skill sets just by doing random things and, like, showing up.
Showing up, yeah, like we've said, is a common theme here.
Right. It's just do everything that you can to show up and get ahead. And then it's on top of that, like, put in the work. It's showing up to these things to learn and then putting the work outside of it to try and learn even more. And YouTube has everything. There's Coursera. There's whatever you can think of. There's always platforms.
Tell myself how to fix my car with YouTube,
Right, yeah. No, I had the same thing. Just the other week I had to jumpstart another car. How do you jumpstart another car? Yeah. Oh, YouTube it and then did it.
It works, yeah.
Yeah, it works.
Dude, this is awesome, Kentarou. Love your work ethic and energy, by the way. Like, don't lose that. I remember... People still tell me to this day, right? It's like, hey, you have too much energy. Just like tone it down. I was like, no.
Yep.
Like when I was 19, I was like, oh, maybe there's a way that you play this professional game in the world. No, just if you've got the energy, expense it. Don't over expense, obviously, but use it proudly. So keep at it, man. As a sort of, because I know we're coming up on time, I could keep talking for hours, dude. Love the energy that we have. I just buzzes.
Exactly.
If you could say one thing to Arizona, right? Because you live here. If you could say one thing to Arizona, whether it be a hate letter or sort of a love letter,
yes,
in building all of this and with all of what you're doing, what would that be?
Man, out of all the places I've lived, Arizona, and I've lived in many, Arizona is the most favorite place I've ever been in. And I see the startup community, I see the tech community, I see the way that Arizona is growing, and I love it. And I hope, and I really do hope that whoever's listening to this, whoever's watching this, you guys, even if it's for 15 minutes a day, and it's not a full commitment, it's just a passion project. Just do something for your dreams that helps Arizona, that helps each other out. And I can almost guarantee, I can't guarantee legally, but like I can almost guarantee that if even like 5 or 10 of you start doing things every day, like, the whole process becomes easier for everyone else, and it just... One cool quote that I take from a movie called Klaus is, one act of kindness always sparks another, in the same sense of one act upon a service will always spark another. So if you follow your dream, it will always spark someone else.
Man, I wish our nonprofit had enough money so you could throw our mic across the room like that. Instead of a mic drop, just chuck it.
Chuck
was
it.
Great. Oh, I am such a big proponent of that. It's just one little habit, 15 minutes a day, compounds over. And people are like, oh, then you're 1% better. It's like, even if you're 0.05% better a year, like it's just, that's a lot better than just doing nothing at all. So that was great, Kentarou. Oh my gosh.
I agree.
Any last things people should know? There's a one-liner that you want to leave with.
Oh, man. Definitely check out TedxASU, and we're going to be posting a lot more and a lot of teasers along with a ton of behind-the-scenes stuff. And there possibly is a documentary being made right now on the entire process of it, so that way people like you guys can make your own events just like us and make it even better than what we're doing right now.
No, yeah, exciting. And I guess I even forgot to mention as well, but we're planning to do a kickoff. Co-hosting a kickoff party for TEDx and a closing party, so... Stay tuned for that as well. You'll see both of us there. And, dude, I'm so excited to do this with you, man.
Dude, I can't wait as well. This is going to be so much fun.
Thanks so much for coming on our podcast, Kentarou.
Thanks for having me on.
Let's go. All right, everyone. That was it for this edition of the Silicon Oasis Spotlight. Kentarou, where can people find you?
People can find me. I'm mainly on LinkedIn, but I'm also on Instagram. I'm on YouTube. I'm going to start posting a lot more on YouTube now as well. But those are the main 3 platforms.
All right. You heard him, everyone. Thanks so much for watching, and we'll catch you next time.